Starting to come out pretty far on that, but we've got a long ways to go. I slow down when I get to the center. And we're almost out to where we want to be. Going to go to negative rake scraper. Whatever that is. I have no idea what that is. it's what I like and what I use on my grinder. I brought my own grinder because it's got CBN wheels, but Glenn Lucas makes these, and you know. Yeah, I think it's a 30. Yeah, it is a 33. He wrote it right on there so that I wouldn't have to make something up. Just that little bit of turning, we create a burr on this. Just that little bit of turning, we didn't do much. Pretty much wiped that burr completely out. So to sharpen this, to sharpen any negative rake scraper, you always start upside down. I'm going to do that real quick. Then you turn it the other way. Get a fresh burr. Negative rake scraper, you can hold the handle straight up. You don't have to hold it down because you've got on both sides. All right, so you can see, let me take this off of the chuck so you can see it better. Despite my attempts to screw it up, you can see that it's offset quite a bit. Now, I could take that deeper, and in essence of time, like I say, I'm going to finish this completely at home, but that's the process of how you do that. The second way that you can do this is you can use one chuck, and with the first chuck, you create a recess in the center, just like you would normally do, just like you normally turn any platter. You do the back, just like I showed you. So you do the back of it, it's in the screw chuck. Get the back finished up, flip it around, get it into the recess and compression mode, and then you would get the front good and flat, do any embellishment that you want to do. So if you want to carve it, put beads in it, whatever you want to do, you do that. Then you'd go to your second offset hole, and you'd put it in your second offset hole. You would clean off the back, get rid of that recess completely, and make a new recess that would be in the offset orientation. Questions on that? You finish cleaning up the back in that orientation, flip it around, put it in the offset recess, and then do all of your work on the front part of the platter. I mean, you do all your work on the front part of the platter. Now, there's not a lot of tear out in that other than where it came off the lathe and I hit one of the beads, but I can fix that. But that's how it looks. That's how the back, and I'm going to do some work on the back here to get rid of all that so you'll never be able to tell what happened. But questions? Tim? I don't use a 4-inch, I just use the standard. Yep. That's in compression. Yep. And you make a bowl bomb and then you create a new one. And you can either go compression or expansion, whichever you prefer. I'll put both methods. I have PDFs of both methods. I'll put them both on the website so that you can see them, and it gives step by step. But yeah, I mean, like I say, you can beat it. You can do all kinds of things. So, I could do all kinds of embellishment in here still. I could do all kinds of color if I wanted to. So it's just whatever you want to do to the front or the back. And I'm going to put back on the lathe at home and make this much, much deeper so that it looks more like a bowl. But my intent today was to show how to get to the offset platter. Other questions? I think there's a question over here. Yes, sir. It was actually 3/4. The question was that I use a 3/8 offset. It was a 3/4 offset. They're 3/4 inch offset. It depends on your lathe. I mean, the farther you go out, the more off it's going to be. So, I was probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches off of the lathe bed. I could have gone, if I would have gone an inch, just that 1/4 inch makes a huge difference in the offset. I mean, you just wouldn't believe how much of an offset that makes. If you're going to make one of these, if you want to do one of these, you're drilling 3 holes. 1 hole in the center. You decide, are you going to go 1/2 inch over, 3/4? So I did 2 different ways on this. I think the first hole, the hole for this one, was 3/4 of an inch off of the center, and the hole for this one was 1/2 inch off the center. So you put it in the center hole first, turn the front flat, get your back the way you want it. Then you put it in the offset hole and use a pencil. When it's on that offset hole, you use a pencil to figure out where that needs to be, and that's what you cut out. Then you go back to the other offset hole, and what I find it's a good idea to number those holes. I always put 1, 2, or 3 if I put 3 holes in it. You can do 4 holes if you want to. The other thing that you can do is if you leave a big enough tenon here, a longer tenon, when you get this all done, you can come back to the chuck, and instead of putting it straight in the chuck, offset it a little bit so that this is pretty exaggerated, but so it sits like this. You have to have a much longer tenon to do that. That gives you an entirely different look. Questions? Yeah, so that's a great question. How do you deal with that tenon when you're all done, right? That's the question? Yeah, so you have a couple of options. You can put it in cold jaws, if you have cold jaws. You can put it in a jam chuck, if you have a jam chuck, and you can make a jam chuck pretty easy. Or if you have a vacuum chuck, you can vacuum chuck it up and take off that tenon. Now, I didn't do that with this one because I wanted to be able to show people that you could offset it. That tenon is not, well, you could almost do, you could capture that a little bit offset. Other questions? Yes, sir. So if this was completely done, and if it was gallery quality, I wouldn't take less than $200 for it. Now, if I went and did basket illusion on it, which I've done some of these where I've done the basket illusion on this, you're going up to $400 to $500. I've got a piece I'm working on right now. I've been commissioned to do a piece that's representative of the 7 bridges in Chattanooga. And it's going to have 24,000 squares in it. And yeah, that's what I said. I mean, you find someone that wants a commission and you price it so high you think they're never going to pay you for it. And then they say, I want it. And you're like, oh, crap, what'd I just do? Yeah, so I priced that piece at $3,000. And I got half up front. I get the half when it's finished, but I'm going to have 400 hours work on it. Now, I could go to work at McDonald's and make more money and not have to worry about, every little, because I want it to be perfect. I mean, it's going to be absolutely perfect when it's done, but, yeah, I'll post a picture on we have a Facebook page. If you don't know, we have a Facebook page, so you can see stuff on Facebook. Other questions? Well, I've had a blast. I appreciate you having me here, and I apologize for the screw up, but there it is.